Sticking with the theme around vaccination and vaccines, South Africa is cementing its position in the race to find an effective vaccine against the coronavirus. One of the participants in the country's COVID-19 vaccine efficacy trial is Professor Glenda Gray, the president and CEO of the South African Medical Research Council. She was screened and vaccinated at UCT's Lung Institute on Tuesday to prove its safety. She joins us now to tell us about that experience and also how important it is that she should be also taking part, being one of the 1,000 people who are taking part. Professor Gray, thank you, and good morning to you. So you had a shot. You cited in the reporting there of EWN as saying that usually you are on the other end of the needle. How important was it for you to be one of the 1,000 people that come forward to take part in this vaccine trial?
As a scientist, I thought it was important to volunteer. As I said, normally we are the people that are administering the vaccine, and so for me it was a wonderful opportunity to experience science from the other end. And it was very important for me as a citizen of this country to show that I believe in science and I believe in vaccines, and that I want to be part of the journey to find a COVID vaccine for South Africa.
And this is the Oxford vaccine candidate that has a name that's quite difficult to say at this point. I suppose it's just a designation in the lab at this point, not necessarily named, before it's fully registered. How much promise does it show in terms of also the processes that are taking place in South Africa? How do they add to the promise that was reported some 3 weeks ago?
So the ChAdOx study, the chimp-ad vaccine candidate that's been developed by Oxford, is one of the first vaccine trials to go into full efficacy. There are other vaccine trials hot on its heels, both Moderna, that started their vaccine trial about 2 weeks ago in the US, further trials with the chimp-ADOX study with AstraZeneca in the US, and now very soon a trial called A26 with J&J, as well as another company called Novavax that will be trying to do efficacy studies also in the next couple of weeks. So in the next 3 months, we'll see about 4 or 5 efficacy studies happening both in South Africa and abroad. And hopefully all of these vaccine candidates will be effective. We need more than one vaccine because we need to make billions and billions of doses. And so the more people and the more vaccine candidates we have, the better opportunity we have for finding a vaccine for us and to have enough doses to give the whole world a vaccine.
So it's not the news that many people would want to hear, right? I hear you talking about the next 3 months being further trials to basically cement the whole issue around efficacy and safety. People are so anxious to find a solution to COVID-19. I mean, in the U.S., I'm sure you will have noticed the debate that's taking place there with the president there, Donald Trump, pushing to basically have a vaccine as soon as possible and hopefully by November, by the time they have their elections. And also you saw the news that came out of Russia. What did you make of it all?
Well, you can't jump the gun. A vaccine has to be safe and effective, and we have to use it in humans, in children, the elderly, and in adults. And so we have to make sure that the vaccine, first of all, is safe, is well tolerated, and also is effective. And so this takes a couple of months to establish. You need to do studies in human and in preclinical, in non-human primates before you go into humans. And then you also need to do efficacy studies. You need to put this vaccine in tens of thousands of people so you can see whether it's effective. And so whatever vaccine you do, you have to publish your data, and you also have to show your data to the regulatory authorities. The regulatory authorities have to look at all your data and decide whether this vaccine is effective and should be licensed in your country. And so I'm not too sure what happened with Russia, whether their regulatory authorities have seen the data and have established that there is efficacy. But we normally announce the trials, we announce the efficacy, and we show the data around safety. And so we can't jump the gun. And humans are important, and we have to make sure that we give them safe and effective vaccines.
So as a member of the Ministerial Advisory Committee, what would be your advice to the Minister of Health in approaching this issue around, Russia says we have a vaccine, it's a global health emergency. What will you be telling Dr. Zweli Mkhize?
Well, I think South Africa has a very sophisticated health system and a very sophisticated regulatory authority. And so to license a vaccine in our country, the Russians will have to submit a dossier to our regulatory authority, and our regulatory authority will have to look at the raw data and establish whether there is efficacy or not. So South Africa is well protected, and we have good regulatory authorities who will make sure that any vaccine that's licensed in our country is safe and effective, and will look at the data and will then decide whether it's worthy of registration and licensure. And so we're very lucky in South Africa, so that we have very strict controls on what can be licensed, and we have a very good scientific authority, and we have a very good Department of Health that will evaluate all the data before just willy-nilly approving a vaccine.
And lastly, Prof, let me roll up a number of questions into one. We are at a point where we are seeing the numbers sort of slowing down in terms of new daily infections that are reported. I mean, I saw the number in the region of some 2,000 odd numbers there for the first time in a very long time. And this was following on a series of days where we were reporting somewhere in the region of some 6,000 and thereabouts. We've come down significantly in terms of the numbers from around 14,000 when we first moved to level 3 of the lockdown. But is it something we necessarily should see as progress, or are we testing less? Because I do notice that some of the tests, some of the numbers on some days are actually lower. Linked to that, what should come off the back of that in terms of easing the restrictions on the lockdown, including easing on such activities as consumption of alcohol as well as other economic activities? Many questions in one.
So thank you for that. I do think we're seeing signs of the epidemic slowing down in certain provinces, in the Western Cape, in the Eastern Cape, and Gauteng. And obviously there are provinces that will be going through a surge in the near future. But the good news is that we are also seeing that the death rates are slowing down as well. So the MRC tracks mortality, both natural and unnatural, and we've seen a slowdown of death reporting from last week as compared to the week before. And so there is evidence that the epidemic is slowing down, and which means that we have to be even more vigilant because we can't let our guards down. You know, if it's taken this much to get the epidemic to slow down, we can't just go back and not wear masks. We can't go back and not wash our hands or keep physical distance. So this is evidence that we need to continue with our non-pharmaceutical interventions. This is evidence that we have to continue to try and prevent the onward propagation of COVID-19. So the future is in our hands, and we have to make sure that we also help the health system by making sure that we protect others by not getting infected and not infecting others.
All right. Thank you so much for your insights there, Dr. Glenda Gray, who is President and CEO of the South African Medical Research Council, weighing in there on the importance of following the science in as far as vaccines are concerned and the research that's taking place in this country as well.